All right, we got cut off. Right, and probably a good point too. I was about to stop what I was saying, but anyway, I don't know how long these things go on. I'm going to end up doing different medias and trying to find places to take video where you can't really see all the stuff that's in the background because, quite honestly, I don't know what looks like what to who, but it probably isn't. And I know there's a lot of the same things and other things, and there will be people looking for things like that, I'm sure, because I'm Hangman. Um, if it looks like I'm not making eye contact, it's because I keep trying to look myself in the eye when I'm talking. Camera's up here. Don't think I'm going to get used to that anytime soon. But anyway, what was I doing? Introducing myself some more. Okay, well, I guess it kind of is important, but uh, I just feel like I'm a lot more interesting when I could just, be racist and sarcastic, but I got black. Never mind. I'm not racist. I don't have the power to hold a man down. Uh, well, I guess I kind of am. Human is a race, is it not? But I do get a tendency to find myself not just with any certain race or another, but I joke about it a lot. Sometimes it bites me in the ass. And there's a little cool story for you to introduce you, because I know you're looking at me thinking he's a skinhead, he's racist, white power. No, I mean, well, people are whatever, do whatever you want. Like I said, it's America. But when I first started climbing cell phone towers, uh, I was actually shocked when I arrived at the job site and there was four black guys. I'm not going to say African Americans and this and that dark color. They were black. Okay. Uh, anyway, and I'm like, well, generally speaking, most of the black men I've ever met are afraid of three things: heights, dogs, and snakes. So I get here and I'm climbing. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Well, one of them was none of them. Not to say that they were racist or anything. They just didn't know me, and especially being who I am, looking like I look like. So they're probably thinking the same thing that I just said. Somebody probably, this ain't gonna work. Well, to make a long story short, well, let me tell you, fish the kind of the demographic here. One of them was a devout uh, Muslim, believed in Islam. Another one was was a gangster, like gangster. Like freaking, he talked, you walked it, and he would be it. Believe me, much to I just may at times without drinking. Uh, One of them was kind of, I guess, an Oreo. That's not my term. That's their term. He talked like a white guy. He wore glasses, and he kind of went out of his way to avoid stereotypical things like, we used to always tease him with watermelon. He wouldn't eat it. And another one was a coon-ass. He was half black from where the coon-ass is from, Louisiana. Well, now 2 weeks later, we're going for a little bit of tension, this and that, and me kind of feeling him out, seeing if it's okay if I finally let I let nigga slip. That went over like, got a little freaking, whatever, still figuring me out. Well, 2 weeks later, we're at Waffle House, and they are screaming white power and throwing up the seagulls and just having a ball, laughing. The same group of guys I've met maybe the day after that. Mind you, tower climbing is a very satisfying and physically demanding, and it's very easy to relax when you ain't climbing towers and working on it. So generally you work, go back to the hotel room, you don't have a problem sleeping. And every once in a while, it's like we're traveling around the country, we never do nothing. So we're in the middle of Arkansas. I can't remember exactly where it was. Yeah, Arkansas. I'm with a bunch of black dudes. Okay, well, we go to a bar. We go in there, and we're the only ones not wearing cowboy hats. And we're like, oh shit! Well, they got beer and everything, and you can see the eyeballs already. There's a lot of, I guess, a little tension out from that area. I don't know. I'm not even bashing people that are racist. That's your problem or whatever. racial, bigotry, whatever. I'm not. Uh, Partially because I have been in the past, and like everything else, I had experiences laid down in front of me that proved contrary for me. So I mean, if you want to be racist, you want to hate people, hey, more power to you, whatever. I don't hate anybody for hating people, especially because that's just kind of stupid. I do hate some things, but not really people. Anyway, we sit down, convinced, we grabbed a beer. We sit down, then the waitress comes around, she walks around, everybody else sitting down. They're up there doing that line dance thing. Forget the name of the song where it says, left foot in, now tap 3 times, whatever. Well, they're laughing so fucking hard. They can't stop. Well, people start looking, people are dancing, looking back, like, what the fuck are they laughing at? So I'm sitting here, I'm trying not to laugh, because I'm a model of composure. Finally, I start laughing too. Well, I see somebody walk over to the 2 guys, security guys at the door. One of them looks like Woody from the fucking from Toy Story. The other one looks like freaking a meatball with a fucking cowboy hat. Me and I mugging, they went up there and told him, oh, what's these guys doing? Well, I see him start walking over, and I'm tapping them. I say, hey, man, I'm like, look at this guy over here. They're just, every time they get up, they're watching a bunch of white people try to dance to a song talking about left foot in, black foot out. So they can't stop freaking laughing. Well, the one comes up stands on one side. I see the other one creeping around behind me, so I kind of turn this way, and I'm like, look, what the fuck? I already know what's up. I already know what's going to happen. Been here before. The one guy says, is there a problem? And they look over at him, and he's looking down. He's goofy looking motherfucker, and they just still like, minus, there may or may not have been, uh, they're fucking high, okay, on pot, and I wasn't. I don't know. I've never been a big. I don't know. Yeah, no. So anyway, they're high as hell. You can tell. He just laughed. He's kind of like somebody freaking when they said, take thee into thy head in church, and you're sitting there as a kid. The worst time to laugh. And they're sitting there. They can't stop. I know what's going on. And had they not been laughing, there would have already been tension. But they're sitting there laughing. And I was like, he's like, we're gonna have to ask you guys to leave. And I stand up. I'm like, all right, let's go. We're done here anyway. This and that. And they can't stop laughing long enough to get mad. And I'm so glad for it too, because I mean, it would have been fun and all, but probably wouldn't have turned out better. Because I imagine if they were like that, then what the, police would have been like and what the holding cell would have been. But we got out of there. But I just, it was funny, and along those lines, I found that most of my deepest and closest friends that I've ever had in my life. Not saying I haven't had white friends, but even when before I went to prison at 18 for the only time, I had attachments to my first real girlfriend. She was Puerto Rican. And I was South Florida, by the way, South Florida. And hey, South Florida, y'all can keep it, y'all can have it. I love it, but yeah, no, I'm not going back there. Igor, love you, bro. I mean, yeah, I do. Probably be a little, some of them be maybe not disappointed, but just shocked at how things have gone. We can't go into that here, but Marcus was a deep close friend of mine, and then I've come to find out later that maybe it's that I look for they're not stereotypes, they're just some facts about certain ethnicities that have that I've found to be across the board, like all black people like water. No, the black folks I think that I've met that I've been drawn to have real, I mean, and I don't mean, when I say real, I don't mean the typical white boy description of a cool black guy, because he's cool, he's black, but he talks like a white. Nah, not saying those guys ain't cool either. I'm not gonna keep saying whatever. I better, because I got some pretty prying eyes watching this. But anyway, I found out my black friends, they've always had a way of kind of calming me down when I'm angry, like making like, man, why are you angry, man? Why you so bad all the time? God, this and that. Marcus was really good at that, and he told me all my black jokes anyway. But I won't go there because nobody, anyway. My Spanish, the people that I knew, not so many since I left Florida, but my Spanish are, they've always been more that I've met, principled, like they're not going to do something just because they're not going to do it, man. And you just don't do that. Uh, well, I sound like a Mexican, not Puerto Rican, Boricua. Um, Asians, of course, your Asians are, uh, you never know what they're looking at because they're like, man, you high? It's like, no, I don't smoke. Ming, you don't know if you watch this or not, but he gets it. Um, but in the white friends that I have had, that I still have, and one in particular that that's going to be a thing with everything going on right now too. So, I've got a lot of uh, not regrets, because if I cut ties with somebody, it's not, in the recent past especially, it's been more along the lines for your protection and from not from anything illegal, just not to be associated with things that might have been spit out towards me or anything like that because of those things that I got involved in. Um, but you all know my heart well enough to know that, I can honestly say that for as long as I can remember, since I became aware of really what was right to do, what was wrong to do, and then I've always done the right thing. I haven't always done the good thing, and right changes. Time determines right and wrong, and as well. But um, I've always done what I think is right. So that has led me with the ability to be able to sleep at night with some things because I can tell myself, that was fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. But at the time I did it, it was I'll always be held accountable if it's something that I need to be held accountable for, and I will always try to do whatever I can to let anybody that was hurt by something I did not tell them but show them. Big on not tell somebody. Some people need to be told stuff. Tell them that you apologize. That show them that you have grown from the experience and not wasted it. Because that's the only to do something you think is wrong is one thing. To do it and not learn from it is another thing. But to do it and keep doing it is a whole nother thing. But I tried my best to take whatever lessons that I can when I do something that is wrong. Um, and it is kind of dangerous ground because I have found at times that I try to not justify, but I can think that I'm doing the right thing at the wrong time, and those things uh, I punish myself for basically. I got one of those coming. Maybe I'll video that. Probably not. They'll commit me for sure. But I believe in being held accountable. I believe as I expect that from my children. I have 5 of them. I can't figure out what's causing it. But yes, I am a father, and I'm a good father. And what's going on in my life right now is part of the reason I've had to do some introspection. But I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to go into too many subjects that are raw that are going on now because I'm trying not to be this angry person, or harness, the anger for good. And I have a plan, an idea in my head, but what was I talking about? Black people, Puerto Ricans, white people, uh, white people, white people. You remember I told you sometimes I see things in people that that remind me of me. Well, Wiggers, okay, Wiggers have changed a lot over the past 20 years, and I've always kind of not, I don't hate anybody off the rip. It's just like some people annoy me, and for the longest time I seen a Wigger. Well, the reason that Wiggers bothered me was because there was a point in my time in my life where I realized that, I was listening to music. I remember the Two Live Crew and MC Hammer and Fat Boys, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm jamming. I'm sitting there, I actually got in trouble for trading a Two Live Crew tape. I'm giving away my age here. Uh, for an NWA tape. I think that meant niggers with attitudes. And boy, let me tell you, I'm about to revisit. I'm going to listen to that old crap. Yeah. Anyway, I remember I had put that tape in and borrowed my mom's boom box. Had 2 tape things in there, and I'm sitting there right in front of the radio, and I'm playing it. And I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Dope Man, you think you're slick?" And my mom comes over the door. I don't fucking think so. She took that, stomped it, and man, I was like, "Damn, Ma, damn, ho." No, I wasn't like that. But fast forward about a year, I was into music and stuff. Well, I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the Fat Boys, right? Fat Boys on my uncle's stereo this time in Florida. I'm like, Fat Boys are back, and whatever the fuck, I don't even remember the song. Well, it wasn't long after that I'm in the room that I was in, and I had a little radio, and I'm tuning through the radio in West Palm Beach, and I found it. I found the love of my life. I remember hearing Pantera. I was like, what is this? It was Regular People. The song Regular People by Pantera. It saved me from what would have then been Wiggerdom. I would have been dressed in black and everything like that, trying to, but there's no whatever. So I don't know why I became kind of self-conscious and was like, man, that Wiggerd bothered me. That Wiggerd bothered me because when I found Pantera and I was listening to the Fat Boys, I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? I was like, God damn, fuck that. And then from then on, it was like, what do you listen to? Pantera. And of course, I'm big on music. I love my music. Not my music, but and I'm partial to the Cannibal Corpse, and here more recently, more of the Traitor, more of the dark, especially some of the darker stuff that is applicable to my life. Kind of just, I never could attach myself to the niggers with attitudes. We're selling crack and all that stuff. And just, it was cool to listen to, and it's funny. It's fun to listen to now. It doesn't sound the same at all. Now it's gangster. It ain't trap music. Music has changed, but I try to keep up with the hardcore stuff, and I'm happy to, happy to know that it's still evolving. I was always worried that, man, what are we gonna do when Pantera style's playing? Then you got some similar bands, and throw down. And if you listen to them, they're kind of the same. I'm not an audiophile as far as tone of the music, but I like loud music, and I like for other people to hear my music too, not because I just like people to hear. If they look at reaction, like, wow, what are you listening to? Most people, well, I have found that most people don't listen to devil music, and when they do, they're young and stuff. It's like, man, where's all my old niggas that listen to Pantera at? And they're like, yeah, I walk. I'm like, no, man, I mean, it's cool at all, but 5 minutes alone, good friends and a bottle of pills, and as a buddy of mine would say, he liked the Hard Lines and Sunken Cheeks, and it was just, it's good songs, and the sonic embodiment. Actually, I kind of use it in my life as bookmarks. If I hear a song that was during a certain time in my life, that's really the only way that I've found that I can really experience my past for whatever reason. I got some shit going on. I've had head injuries and whatnot, and you'll see I'll see, hopefully, because I'm going to watch this stuff too, and pick myself apart a little bit, and get some more insecurities and whatnot. But like Slayer, Divine Intervention. I remember, I can tell that story, man. I was 16 years old. I won't tell the whole story because that's going to be a whole thing in itself. But psychedelics have been a very eye-opening. I kind of contribute a lot of insight that I do have, and a lot of things that I am sure of. It's because I saw it on acid. You think what you will. Last I read, the FDA is actually giving psychedelics a new day in court, so to speak. As I feel like it should have, because alcohol is illegal and tobacco is legal. And nobody has killed more people than R.J. Reynolds. And if you go to the store, get drunk, do stupid things, I mean, whatever. I feel like people should be able to do what they want as long as it doesn't interfere with what anybody else is doing, to the point where everybody's free to do what they want. That includes idiots. They can do what they want. Now if the idiots come and I don't want them where I'm at, then I'm free to do what I want, maybe at least once. But again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about music now. Music. And anyway, the acid trip, we'll turn that into a whole different matter. So I'm going to write that down because I'm really curious to anybody that is watching this that has had a similar experience of the source. And I'm just curious about it from whatever. People are going to think I'm crazy anyway. But yeah, but anyway, the hard music, like I said, I feel it doesn't bug me when people say you can't even understand what he's saying. Well, first of all, when you listen to Cannibal Corpse for 20 years, you don't got to read the lyrics anymore. But yeah, you listen to the old stuff and it's, Me Hook Sodomy and, just the names of the songs, okay? They're not glorifying it, they're just documenting it. You'll find I've always had a good vocabulary, and I believe that to be because I read the lyrics of some pretty, where you can't understand what's I'm on. Look for big words. You can't understand what they're saying. Unintelligible. There we go. And if you read it, I think I don't remember very often that they even said a curse word. There's complete Cannibal Corpse albums. They don't say a curse word. But they say words like adipocere. And I'm like, what is adipocere? It's got to be something cool because Chris Barnes said it. So I look it up and I'm like, oh, cool. I never used the term again, but there's a lot of other terms in there, and so that kind of fueled my my love for using big words because chicks like big words because they make you sound more photosynthesis than you really are. So they say, or something like that. But anyway, it's I feel like I feel like heavy metal basically. It's not an angry thing, not an angry music. It almost like calms me down. Is heard a reference of one of the Fast and Furious. No, Triple X, where the dude said, something about motors. It really calms me down, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense, and it's. Now I don't like like death metal, like genre. I hate naming people that name genres. It's like. What I say is death metal, you're like, no, man, that's fucking deathcore, doom, screamo. And I'm like, fuck you. I call it death metal. That's what I listen to. But, it's frustrating when you go to find and, trying to keep up with new music and you go through YouTube or whatever, and you're like, I want more that sounds like this. That's how I found Traitors. That's how I found Spite. I watched a bunch of the Spite stuff, and I'm like, I love this dude's voice. I mean, it's just because he sounded just like, if you're... although I think most men have gotten so angry that they freaking just scream about something, and that point you get where you scream and your voice is cracking. It's like there is no more of a moment in your life where you were definitely getting your point across now because you're. Well, the way he did, this is what it sounded like, and then I was reading in the comments and I kept hearing like, yeah, from Traitors, this guy's voice and. I'm like, there ain't no way to, I'm real particular about voices. Corpse Grinder. Once Corpse Grinder came into Cannibal Corpse, Chris Barnes. I still like the guttural, but you can understand Corpse Grinder. Corpse Grinder, and he does his thing. He puts on a show. He's a showman. I've seen several of their shows. And he does the same thing every time. Anyway. The guy Spite. I'm not kind of fell off on the names and all this stuff, but they have. I don't like all. Death metal, like I'll say if I want to listen to Cannibal Corpse and I want to hear something like it, I won't find anything else that I like. I'll be like, I like like Slayer even. I'm not big on thrash metal, but Slayer, I absolutely love Slayer. Because of actually several reasons. Well, Slayer always meant something when I was young. It was like because the devil, I'm an outcast and devil, the allure of. The devil and evil and badness and everything is always, it's always appealed to me for, different reasons then and now. But I've never been I might have done it once or twice, but a devil worshiper. I mean, how do you worship a devil? Not a big worshiper of anything, but I think once or twice me and my brothers might have found, the Satanic Bible and tried a spell or something, but uh, no, not for me. But I do like demons. I like darkness, and if there is a hell, I'm sure I'm going there. And really, if everything I love here is gonna send me to hell, then why would I want to go anywhere else? Right? Uh, yeah. If you're smiling, But I'm not gonna even get on religion. I got some shit. Anyway, but Slayer, yeah. When I was younger, that's what it meant. It was it evolved. It kind of evolved. It grew with Slayer, and when I was younger, it was cool because they were talking about this and that, Satan, yeah, Satan, and even to the point where you've heard a song and you know the words and you sing along with it your whole life, and then 20 years later you realize it's like that's not what he was saying. Transforming 5 toes to 2. It's like I didn't know what he was saying. Transforming 5 toes to 2. Well, later I realized Tom Arai is a devout Catholic and everything, and maybe not devout, but he's Catholic. They're more or less not glorifying. They're just, it's like, hey, humanity, look what we're capable of. Look what we're doing. Look at yourself. And like that song, Seven Faces. It says, I've seen all 7 faces, and each one looks a lot like me. And I've gotten more into the philosophical type, thinking about what they're trying to say. Cannibal Corpse, on the other hand, still saying the same thing. Hammer smashed face. There's not too many things that can mean, but god damn it, when you hear it, it's Pete. It's good stuff. But now you want to talk about some no, god, music is gonna be another one. I do listen to some I guess rap, and most of it happens to be that I know of white boys doing it. That doesn't mean it's because they're white. It's because the stuff that they're rapping about is I can relate to it. Now Tech Nine, Tech, I love Tech, man, and Hobson, he's a little on the Jesus-y side, but he's one of intellectual types. Immortal Technique. I'm actually a huge Immortal Technique fan. Vinny Paz, I like. Just a little heavy on the religion, but he keeps it pertinent and relevant. And like I said, if you're going to learn anything new, or at this point in my life, it's going to come from somewhere that maybe I don't agree with, but definitely something that I risk nothing from debating with somebody I don't agree with, other than learning something I didn't know. Learning something you didn't know is not always a good thing, but I try to keep an open mind towards most things. Some things I don't like. Even me, I found myself when I do it and I cringe. Sometimes there's only a certain. I'll joke about anything, to an extent. Not, and then even more so, I feel like I'm validated to joke about something if I've been through it. And sometimes that's not okay either. But like jokes, and when it comes to jokes, anybody that's been in the military knows the dead baby jokes. Around most people, I will substitute baby for puppy, which just different level, but not because it's just some people they don't feel okay with it. And I get that, some people have kids, they don't want to hear about microwaves having to do with kids and stuff. But some jokes that I've heard are just, I'm like, really make me look at somebody like, how can you joke about that? But then I gotta applaud them, because if you do that to me, as long as you don't have any, as long as that's the only reason you're telling it, Rocky, then I'm kind of talking to myself here too. But yeah, we have a ball, we have a blast, and we make people very uncomfortable, especially with the I don't know what is it about buttholes that makes everybody so uptight. I'm not gonna make a whole episode of that, because just because that's what everybody expects me to do. And too many of you guys don't know me, so I'm not going to start joking about that. Yeah, I'm going to do it, but not right now. Not yet. You got to ease people into that. You can't just, ram them into it. I keep reminding myself I got people watching this, but it doesn't matter. Again, I'm going to be me. And I'm going to keep a filter on it, because that's just something I do need to work on that, because I have noticed as of late, going through this point in my life, that I have become increasingly sarcastic and even a bit cynical and even a bit, maybe even, uh, um, I don't know the word for it, but it's just fuck everything, I guess, you know. But I gotta come out of this, and hopefully this is a low point in my life, and um, like I said, maybe documenting it, looking back on it, or watching myself will help me find ways to see myself that somebody else sees me, and find some things that not are wrong with me. I don't feel like anything is wrong with me. Of course I don't. I'm in the forest. I can't see through the trees, but I'm sure a lot of you will disagree, and some of you guys will disagree that some things that I say, or but just keep in mind that I've had. Now, if I say something and I feel like it's wrong, then I'll never say sorry, and the people out there will know why you don't say sorry, because even an apology has to be, if you do something wrong, like I was talking about before, and you learn from the mistake, then if you can apologize, you can show amends or whatever. But if you apologize for something that gives you a good experience, then how can you be sorry for it? To an extent, depending on to the extent of who you hurt and how. Uh, that's one thing I have to be really especially that's something else. I talk about hurting people a lot. Uh, Not that I do. Uh, I guess maybe I do hurt people more than I think I do. But I mean, when I say hurt people, I mean uh, you know hurt people, putting